Lions and the Bears.
Yeah, man, Marine layer.
It's just a comfy shirt.
Yeah, they make amazing clothes. Really, really comfortable stuff.
Today's halftime is brought to you by Marine Layer.
I wish, man.
Not officially.
Reach out to them. If I could just get a discount on their stuff, it would help me out.
I'm
going to need it after this weekend. There.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody.
I'm not doing any shopping online today, guys, because I'm getting my fucking clock cleaned today.
Teeth are being kicked in.
Yeah.
Man. Someone says, wait, Drew's name is Andrew? Yeah.
I've had a substantial amount of teeth kickage today. It's been bad. And the fact that the Raiders are even in this game feels lucky. But at the same time, I'm ready to make a case for Raiders. Ready to come more Raiders, Andy? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It feels like, and we discussed this off the air, it was some penalties that kind of kept the Jets out of this. And the Raiders probably should have had another field goal. Those two big, like 10, 12-yard sacks. You can't be taking shit like that. Because you had a field goal at that point. Obviously, indoors, Carlson's decent kicker. Yeah, the day is kind of starting it's ending like it started. This is a strong Colts Patriots vibe where it's like these offenses are not being efficient. These quarterbacks are not playing very well.
Second half total of 17.5. Oh boy. I think it's Raiders money line time, but I'm also
I don't want any more
Raiders. I'm sick. Yeah, I'm a sick person. They get the ball first, correct?
They should.
No, they did not. They do not. They had a three. I missed this entirely. They had a 3-play, 9-yard drive that ended in a punt first. So the Jets will get the ball first. My bad, guys.
I thought the field goal is first. We never know who gets the ball first for some reason. Even I've watched every second of this game. All right, so Jets start with the ball. The Raiders are getting a little bit too much credit in the second half.
I think
I'll let you handle this one.
I like the Raiders.
I'm not adding any Raiders, but Raiders. What do you think of? What's the case for not taking the 1.5?
Probably gotta lay big.
Yeah, besides the 10 cents.
Let's see.
I will be cheering for the Discord to not see a touchdown.
I mean, it should. The point is, it should probably be a pick. Fair is probably a pick. I think if you can get if you can get the 1.5, go for it.
Yardage is. I mean, Jets outrushed them. Out yardage them by about 60 yards. It's 196, 137 yards per play. Definite advantage for the Jets. Like we said, those penalties stymied some things. 2 really big sacks, both in the same.
Most of the yardage is 40 yards of scrambling from Zach Wilson, though.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. Both of his scrambles were just like, oh my God, he has so much room. The early pass to Wilson was nice. The one turnover. You got that going for you. But yeah, the penalties have been pretty one-sided. And I don't think, even if I was a Jets backer, I don't think I'd feel too I mean, those were all things that gets called. So, all right. Broncos money line. Maybe tomorrow.
Interesting.
All
right.
No touchdowns.
So I'll just, I guess, I have a very, 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 very weak look on Raiders second half. I kind of need them to win this game somehow, some way to save some semblance of a day today. I am getting my absolute clock cleaned though. So
we'll get to the Ravens game eventually. But yeah, I looked at 2 different win probability models. They both had Cleveland under 5%.
Sounds
when at their low spot. Like it took a whole lot of trying to get up that hill, and the Ravens do put people back in games somehow. So
they do. That is kind of part of their
and it's funny too because Lamar made some bad throws. He made some inaccurate throws, but the one that was obviously the most impactful wasn't that bad of a throw. It's just an unlucky tip, really. I didn't think that was a horrible throw. It was.
Do you want Do you wanna go live?
Yeah, let's
All right,
just
do it.
go right into the. So, all right, small bet on the Raiders.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the deep dive. Week 10 is my low point for the 2023 campaign with a bullet.
Live from a ditch, we are
God,
broadcasting.
dude. Oh my God. I have avoided sort of the Widowmaker week, so to speak, this year until now. It got here and it got here with authority. I had a lovely weekend otherwise. You want to hear about Joshua Tree? You want to hear about did some outstanding outdoorsmanship, got
It was the
got some
weather
fresh
was
air. It was beautiful.
weather was extra
Oh,
nice yesterday
yeah.
for a Minnesota, November day.
Yeah,
A
but
big weekend at our household. It's volleyball tryouts, a lot of stress,
awesome.
It's been pushed out now. Tryouts are done. We're good.
Awesome.
We're on to the week. But yeah, bloodbath. Shit happens.
Yeah. No comment on Thursday night's game, which I didn't watch. Hopefully you didn't watch it either. Do we win the second half bet? We just tailed Barry. Did it get there?
Yeah, we said we like primetime unders.
Yeah, I gave it all back in
Barry
here, so I
likes
lost
the under.
track. Yeah.
He actually bet the Bears as well, so I think they both cashed.
Oh, he double dipped then. Okay.
Yeah, he double dipped Bears. You could have parlayed that, guys. Plus
just
260.
a couple of messy franchises there. Indianapolis played New England today. I don't know if you saw this morning, but they kicked off at 6:30 a.m. West Coast time in Frankfurt, Germany. And I slept through the entire game, and I don't feel like I missed anything. Do you have a difference of opinion, Andy?
It was sloppy quarterback play. I mean, we don't expect that much out of Mac.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't expected that much from that brain trust. It's like they went into the game not trusting Mac, like knowing at some point we may pull him anyway because they ran the ball an awful lot. And it wasn't that unsuccessful, but it wasn't like a good game plan.
Yeah.
And truthfully, like really, the only times they really did move the ball, they had just egregious interceptions. Obviously, everybody's seen the one from Mac 100 times. Just horrific. Especially the guy was open. He tried to throw an interception on another drive that, I mean, the defender had way more of a play on it than any receiver in the area. And then obviously the Zappy one, the Zappy play was cool until it wasn't. Like, oh, fake snap, fake. Oh shit, that was a really bad play. Like a fake spike is cool until you throw it into like quadruple coverage, buddy.
Not good.
The Colts were not good. The Colts were not a good team. The defense did step up. We saw a lot of pressure. Mac got sacked quite a bit. That was impressive. They got a good pass rush. Other than that, it's not like the Colts did something to write home about.
Mm-hmm. The Patriots were one of 3 teams. I have this in my notes. One of 3 teams today that finished their day pick within a score. They finished pick their last 2 drives. Funny thing was, it wasn't the same quarterback, and that brings in that really does open the door of is Zappy. You go with Zappy from here. I mean, it seems like it's over. I mean, yeah, I know, but like Kraft did the big interview before the game. He looked miserable as they were showing him late in the game.
They showed him a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why he's kind of put himself out there as a lightning rod for this situation. Like, I don't know. He seems to be inviting some of the speculation about the future of Belichick, which I'm surprised. That entire situation surprises me.
I don't have a strong opinion on that.
It is apparently
lowest scoring game of the season so far.
Oh, was that 10-6?
10-6. There's not
for some reason. If you said was that the lowest, I would have said no. I would have thought
same. When I read it, I almost like I should fact check this, and then it's like the article I read it in. It's like they're not going to fucking make this.
All right, let's get to the fucking shit show that was Cleveland Baltimore. Baltimore was up 14 points, man.
Like that, looking good. Obviously, getting the advantage. Having that pick 6 off the bat was awesome because then it's like, oh, now we're betting the Ravens at a pick 'em, really. Yeah. And the offense looked good at first, but man, Lamar made some mistakes. That was a disappointing kind of not only that, but the rush defense
Mm-hmm.
versus a guy who wasn't really going to, a couple guys who really weren't a part of the plan to start the season.
Yeah.
They made Watson look half decent at parts of the second half. Like, I was a little disappointed in Baltimore's defense mostly in the second half.
A little disappointed?
Yeah. I hate to be too hard on them. I love them.
They conceded 180 yards rushing, man.
Yeah. I didn't see that shit coming. Obviously,
No.
we bet on the Ravens.
No. That was a goddamn mess. I mean, obviously the fluky pick six that tied it was I literally I put my attention elsewhere. We're like, oh, the Ravens got the ball back. They got a 7-point lead. They're gonna figure out a way to, take like 5 minutes off the clock and we'll call it a day. And then you flip and you're like, wait, what? How was it tied? What the hell just happened? And that play was,
and then the missed extra point was like, if you were looking for a cover, the missed extra point was somehow
disaster.
It won't work because it lends itself to a less aggressive Baltimore offense.
Yes, that's right.
And then so little aggression that they ended up punting and losing the game. It is crazy.
Yeah.
They were, especially anyone who watched that first half and saw how Watson was playing. It's crazy that they were able to put together the two drives, the score before the pick six and the second one there.
Yeah, it was that was
depressing.
That was really wild. I guess if you want me to put any positive spin on this, besides, I don't know, the AFC North is less decided now. I guess that makes things more interesting.
And a huge game in 4 days. I mean, they got to go play Cincinnati off of us now.
But I mean, like, if you were Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes and you were writing the script for Week 10 while you were on your bias, this is kind of what you would write, right? Like, Baltimore loses.
Well, I'd have written in more injuries. Like Lamar goes to prison.
Yeah, sure.
Joe Burrow gets deported.
Yeah, some real absurd shit. But yeah, I mean, like this takes Baltimore pretty clearly. It desperately shoots them in the foot in terms of getting a 1 seed or a 2 seed now. Winning the AFC North is now very much not in their bag. Like they've conceded control of their destiny in a lot of ways. And that's pretty fucked up. If you had any Baltimore futures, you can't be feeling super about the way that this went today, because they should have won this game going away and they didn't. And the offense is just still isn't quite right. I don't really know what to say, but it's like you watch this game again and I feel like there's a couple of throws that Lamar made that are just like they were so good and they were so close. And if they get caught, then this isn't even a close call, like. It was very, 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 very much there that this team wins by double digits, and it's 99% win probability long before we even get to the fourth quarter. So I don't know, man. It sucks.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Humphrey possibly done. So they did have some. Yeah, he went down. It looked like a bad ankle injury. Also, Ronnie Stanley had a knee injury that he exited with. So not great. Although on the other side too, and like I'm saying this is like a positive because obviously I have some Ravens future, but Denzel Ward and Juan Thornhill exited for the Browns. So watch for that in their secondary.
Somehow the Steelers are going to back their way into the AFC North after it's all said and done. Is that really possible? God, they're so bad.
Steelers won.
Yeah, they won. We're going to go there in a minute after we cover the fact that Houston also managed to fumble the bag today. Sorry, Cincinnati. Cincinnati also managed to fumble the bag today against Houston. Houston, who has struggled running the ball this year, was able to generate something like 200 yards of offense on the ground today. 3 turnovers for Mr. CJ Stroud did not matter. Houston still scored 30 points. This flew over the total. And Matt Amendola, who was signed off the street, kicked a 38-yard field goal to win.
I wish they'd let the other guy do it.
Yeah,
the backup.
I guess
he's like what is he, like a linebacker?
Yeah, he's a running back or something, right?
Oh no, he's a running back. Yeah, he's like a backup running back.
All I know is that Big Lou's defense gave up 7.4 yards per play, 544 yards of total offense to CJ Stroud and the Texans, who had been pretty one-dimensional till this point. And that's pretty pathetic. 188 yards on the ground. You win the turnover battle, you lose the game. All of that is not good. And Bengals are going to look at this game and I think have regrets when they are either out of the playoffs or squarely in the wild card spot. Would you say?
Yeah, Stroud losing the fumbles, throwing the pick, having those turnovers, looking pretty decent at times. Obviously, Burrow's been good. Had some really nice throws. Chase and Boyd dropping that touchdown though late.
Oh
That
God,
would have
that was
obviously
brutal.
changed. That would have changed a
brutal.
lot. That was very, very brutal. But the biggest takeaway for me, other than even with the turnovers, I looked and it's like, hey, CJ Stroud still had a really nice day. He was poised. He was poised late when it mattered. He just has that. It's funny. It's the Burrow thing that we always talked about when Burrow was first in the league. Like sometimes you can just tell that, like, hey, this guy isn't fucking scared by the moment. And Stroud is just like there. He's very present. So even with the turnovers, he didn't let that get him down. Obviously, they had the late score to win this one. There's 5 games with walk-off field goals. We still have two to go this week.
Yeah.
That seems like a high number, but the biggest takeaway outside of Stroud was just like, hey, Devin Singletary, we need you. And just 30 carries for
fresh legs.
yards.
He had some fresh legs. He was ready to fucking go.
Yeah, he had a catch for 10 yards, 161 total yards for Devin Singletary. Didn't see that one.
He was ready to go. That's kind of the point of the season where we are, though. It's like if you have a good vet with fresh legs and he's in shape and he's ready to go, then
and you have a good enough scheme, just throw him out
did
there.
better than Damian Pierce has done all year by a lot. Before we move off of these 2 games and into the future, do you have any thoughts on the Ravens opening up as 4-point favorites against the Bengals? 4? You saw enough from the Ravens today to move them past 3? Huh? What do you say, man? Does that check out to you at all?
Yeah, I know. I looked and make sure I didn't miss like injuries with Cincinnati. Obviously, if Higgins is back, and really they had like Hendrickson, he went down. I think it was something lower body, but he walked off and was fine. So I'm not seeing like, I thought it would. A 3 feels a lot more. I hate
Correct.
to I hate to just turn heel on our squad here, but
4.5 is. This can't be.
Yeah, but why would you bet the Bengals 4.5 when you can bet them plus 18 when they're down?
That's fair.
13-0 early.
That's a great point, man. Thank you for
and sprinkle on the money line, obviously.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens getting credit for the way they played today. I don't get it. 3rd game in a row at home for the Ravens. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see this adjustment at all. It doesn't make sense to me. I think this is Bengals or pass. Let's move on to.
They had like 6 yards of play. I mean, it still was a good offense. It's just the disjointed sequencing of screwing things up late and costing them games. I don't know what to blame that on other than like a bunch of coaches we like. Maybe we're high on the coaches and we shouldn't be.
Right. You know what really chaps my ass? When you have a read on a game that's like, hey, this feels like a good time to sell high on the Jaguars defense. And so you play the over and you're literally like, I just need like 13 points from the Jags and then they score 3. You lose your over instead of just, when you want to sell high on the Jags defense, that means you just lay 3 points with the fucking Niners, who are amazing and healthy. And I'm pretty angry I didn't win money on that game. I'm pretty angry that the Jags are paper tigers in basically every way you can possibly draw it up. I don't know. I was disgusted with the Jags and their level of effort that we saw from them today, especially on the offensive side of things. What do you make of this game?
Yeah, obviously the big takeaways are Purdy looked good. That first touchdown pass was a little dicey, like, hey, what are we
Yeah.
doing? But it worked, kind of stuff. But some of the plays, I mean, the game was well out of hand, but like the play where they let Juice check just be wide open in the middle of the field, and I mean the Debo touchdown, those are just it's just Shanahan, man. You give him some extra time, I guess. You get a bunch of good plays. Having Debo and Trent Williams, that matters a lot, obviously. But like Trevor wasn't right. He took a bunch of sacks. It's a good pass rush. Like the pass, there's a bunch of pressure. He didn't handle it all that well. 5 sacks, 28 yards, 2 picks. They didn't get much going on the ground. The game state wasn't, and that's the thing. It wasn't like it was 21-0 right after. I mean, it was like 10-3, 13-3.
Oh yeah,
They weren't
yeah.
behind by that much early, where they had to like, oh, we got to abandon the run. Just nothing was working. Christian Kirk had a couple of just boneheaded mistakes. I mean, just kind of a sum of the parts, but obviously Trevor not being good was huge.
Yeah, they managed a 14-play, 80-yard drive that stalled at the San Francisco 19 and got a field goal out of it to make it 10-3. And at that point, it was like, I guess this is just not happening. 2-play, 75-yard drive, including the deep pass from Brock Purdy to George Kittle that went for 66 yards, pretty much ended this thing. But then not seeing, the next 3 drives for the Jags were an interception, a fumble, and a pick. And the Niners managed 2 touchdowns off of that, and that's your ball game. Really, really just a meek effort from the Jaguars. And considering how much time they had off, like, yeah, they were rusty. I get it, but they need to bring a real effort this week, or else they're going to find.
They only have a 1-game lead
fight for the AFC South.
Yeah, it's only a 1-game lead now in the AFC
Not
South.
good, man.
Houston.
Not good.
Streaking. Houston.
Meanwhile, Brock Purdy, by the way, would you believe he is your clubhouse leader by margin in total EPA so far this season?
I mean, that's what he does. He's just efficient fucking games. 19 of 26, 296, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah, another positive game for him. 15 EPA added to the pile. He's the only quarterback so far this season that has cracked 100 in terms of total EPA through 9 games. It's pretty bad. Sad state of affairs in the NFL.
Ron's asking if we ever been to the Stratosphere. Yeah. If you want to play crapsless craps, I think that's the only place in town. Maybe they don't even have that anymore. Yeah. The point is 12 coming out. All right. MVP has a little life, but there's see, and the thing is too, MVP is voted on at the end of the season. So like, 1 seed probably necessary for it. Mm-hmm. And, the AFC guys, you can't have one of the AFC guys really get heads and tails above everybody, because at this point you do have to leapfrog Allen and Allen, Mahomes, Tua, Jalen, and Lamar. Like, those are kind of all the guys in that bunching there. It's tough. It's going to be tough for them.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes can kill Hurts this week.
It's still early to kill someone, though. You know what I mean? True. Like, if Hurts closes the season strong, wins the division.
Yeah.
I don't see it with Purdy. I think
you have any? Did you have any skin in New Orleans, Minnesota?
Yeah, I bet New Orleans, man.
Fuck, man.
Took some 2.5. Took a little 3 later.
Your car goes out for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston. Oh, and New Orleans
was better once Jameis was in.
Our second team today, Andy, that finished the day pick was the New Orleans Saints and Jameis Winston, who went with a chance, with the 1-score game. He threw picks on his last 2 possessions. What take me through your emotions here, because this one sucked.
It felt a little lucky early,
that they were in it.
No. I mean, even the Vikings were moving the ball.
Okay.
On the early drives, like, that's kind of a tip off the defender's hand right to Addison. Oh, Hawkinson wasn't supposed to play, a lot. He's out there getting like How many targets do you think Hawkinson has? I didn't have that.
I had to be like 10. Oh shit, 15 targets. Oh my god!
I was going to say
15
10.
targets.
10 seems
He targeted
awful.
15 times in this game.
TJ Hawkinson.
My
The
God.
reports before the game were he's going to take it easy because his ribs are really bothering him. It's going to be like a snap count thing. 15 targets, 11 catches, 134 yards. I mean, he's very, very good. So if you know that hurt obviously a lot. We saw it again with Dobbs. He's got a really good pocket presence, apparently. 8 carries for 44 yards and another touchdown. He now has like a streak of throwing and running for a touchdown of like 3 games, which is there's only been a few guys that have ever gotten higher than that. And it's like, you know, Lamar and Mike Vick. And I think actually Kyler was one of them too, but he's good. I mean, he looked good. The guy, they said he busted his ass all week on prep. He put in extra time to learn the offense, to learn the names of the players. Got a little lucky at times, but every team gets a little lucky every time they go out there. Sometimes it's just I guess they were up 27-3 at one point. I mean, it was a no-show from a lot of what I thought we'd get from the Saints offense, and obviously Carr goes out
Saints
with the
defense
shoulder.
too.
Yeah, Saints defense was horrible. Lattimore was hurt. Obviously Carr was hurt. Carr, I think they go into a bye now. I think Carr just said, "Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be fine," which checks out because he's that guy that is just going to play no matter what. But
so many,
and then you got and then Jameis came in. And you got what you get, Jameis. You get you get the YOLO balls, but you get the touchdowns too. His touchdown throws were ridiculous. Like both of them were just like, why did you choose to throw that, and how did that happen? And then his interceptions were hilarious. Like it's
maybe
classic.
Maybe
Jameis.
Carr concussed, so he's probably gonna miss this week.
Shoulder and concussion. I think he passed the concussion test. I'm gonna double check that. It sounded like he said he'd be good to go.
Are on bye.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like after the bye, I'll be back.
All right. Okay. It's just a miserable effort from the Saints. I thank God the friggin' Falcons lost because I don't need any Saints NFC South drama in my life right now. Not now. Kevin O'Connell, congratulations. For a glimmer of moment, it looked like Kevin O'Connell Coach of the Year was really a thing that was really going to happen. And then Dan Campbell did what he did, and he is clearly man number one on that
if the
list.
Lions would have lost, that would have been such good drama for them.
Yeah.
There's the Vikings have no.
I mean, the Lions don't have the secure hold on that North the way that defense is playing. I'll tell you that much. Green Bay.
Viking. That's the thing. The Vikings and Lions have not played. They will not play until week 15 or it's like 16 and 18, I believe. What? So those are high leverage games. You got Jefferson back by then. We might have a race. It might actually be a fun race in the North.
Yeah, Green Bay took care of nothing in this one. Pittsburgh gets a win that didn't feel undeserved, but it certainly felt tenuous. I don't think there was any voodoo magic involved in this result, but
there was one.
Was there? Okay, lay it on.
Yeah, the sideways pass.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear that? Like,
thank you. Yes,
that was. Was it very clearly?
That was very clearly a fumble, right? And,
yeah, he's just like, oh, there's just this is the ref that is in on the the announcer booth. I think it was Steratore, and he's just like, yeah, this is so clearly like one you can't even think about overturning because there's just nothing there. And the announcer's like, no, he's like, look at this. At best case, that was sideways. It was probably backwards. And I couldn't believe that wasn't something that was overturned. I didn't really have skin in the game there, and I was still kind of mad about that because it's just a really shitty call.
There's been a couple of those with fumbles this year on the reviews. I don't get it.
Don't they have the spider cam? Can't they just look at this one from above?
I mean, you would think that there would be 3D.
There are 3D.
There are 3D tracking on every aspect of that play that can tell you with true certainty whether that ball had forward or backward, a forward or backward.
The impetus of the pass.
Yes, no question. This shouldn't have even been a judgment call. But whatever. Pittsburgh loses Quan Alexander with an Achilles. Presumably they will get healthier defensively, I guess. TJ Watt didn't do much to make a defensive player of the year case. I think that's probably squarely Myles Garrett right now.
Garrett had the big day.
Yeah. So, Andy, number 3, third team that finished their day within a score that ended pick was the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love, who threw 2 interceptions to end his penultimate and his ultimate drives in this game. So
yeah,
there you go.
The offense for Pittsburgh wasn't good. Again, the running game kind of got it there. Kenny didn't. It's just like, hey, the running game was good today. Kenny didn't do anything stupid, and we played the Packers because the defense was good enough to get a couple picks late and seal this one. But it's another game where like Green Bay was kind of in this, and Green Bay's not good. That's what I'm saying. Like Green Bay's not good, but Green Bay was in it again, just like last week. And Green Bay won against the Rams last week. I'm thinking of the Denver game. Where it's like, man, Green Bay looks like horseshit. Right, how is this a game in the end?
Yeah. Tennessee, Tampa, I didn't watch 1 minute of this game. Apparently Mike Evans dragged several tacklers with him for a touchdown, and that was a big deal. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won 20-6. Will Levis loses start number 2.
He had nothing.
No juice today.
No juice. Not a good game plan. He looked pretty bad. I did watch a bunch of this, and the biggest takeaway was just like Levis kind of looks bad today. Henry didn't have a good game to boost him up at all, and the team really just never flirted with points. Should kind of give Baker some flowers. Baker's still not great. Baker was good, though. Baker was good in this one. He had some big plays again. This is kind of what you're getting. If you don't get mistake Baker, where he, it's like a net neutral because he has these big plays, but then he has these boneheaded, turnovers or just very bad sacks at the most inopportune times. Like if he's not doing that, he has like 2 or 3 big plays every game. You play a bad team. They're a good enough team to beat those bad teams for sure.
Yeah, you need play Baker out there, not mistake or Mayfield. And you don't know what you're going to get on a given week. No, I have to watch that one to honestly comment. I don't have any real root on either of those teams. Do I have to? Atlanta, Arizona, I guess was a little frisky, a little weird, a little wild. Looks like Taylor Heineke went out with an injury. I didn't see what it was, but I saw Desmond Ridder scrambling to score a touchdown. And, good on Ridder for coming back in and leading a drive to go ahead. But then the defense conceding the pass that they did to set up the Cardinals with the chip shot game winner as time expired was embarrassing. And then ultimately, like, Cardinals, you got win number 2. Congratulations.
And it felt good to see Kyler do some good things. Like, I was a little worried he was going to go out there and just look like absolute hammered dog shit. Like, oh, this guy's rusty. He doesn't trust the leg. He had a little bit of it wasn't like a true bootleg. It was more of a scramble out to his right. He looked fast. He looked just as fast as
he's got the
beating the pavement. But it was nice to see him not looking bad. I don't really have any. I don't care how the Arizona Cardinals finish. I don't have any, action on them. I just am sad about the level of quarterback play. And if Kyler can come back and be good, that would make me happy just in general. Not having, your 2 best pass rushers for Atlanta hurt quite a bit. This would have been a really good game to have some pass rushers getting after Kyler in his first start after forever and ever. But yeah, he made some big plays. The Atlanta defense continues to kind of tail off, and a lot of that is the injuries. Heineke, that's a hammy. That's kind of the in vogue injury this year. Everyone has a hamstring injury.
Hammies or Achilles, depends on how serious you want to get. Yeah,
but hammy. So I don't know, probably misses a week or 2. Ridder scored. I mean, he had a nice run, but it's still Ridder. We've seen what we have with Ridder. They did use Bijan a little more, and he looked decent.
Bijan, okay.
Yeah, got him. That's clearly holding too.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of weird shit like that going on tonight, but who knows, man. The refs are lost the plot this week. speaking of refs losing the plot, boy, oh boy, did they want the Chargers in that game against the Lions. There were some fucked up calls in favor of the Chargers in this one that really, really kept this game competitive. Ultimately, the Lions, with 4th and 2, makeable field goal range, elected to go for it. And really, like, we know our defense doesn't have it today. We're just not going to let you see the ball again. And the play calls
it was
on a
tied,
couple of
and
the
it's
high
crazy,
leverage.
like 4th and 5, and they run like a counter.
Dude, that was incredible.
That was
huge
nuts. But yeah, like that was the right call. It's a tie game, so even if you fail, you haven't lost the game at that point. Like so many of these, the analytical guys complain about people and teams looking at a tie as a win. Yeah. Like, oh, if we can just tie this game. But you almost have to take that and look through the lens the other way and say, like, a tie is not a loss either. So the fact that they were tied, it affords you that opportunity to be really aggressive in that spot and win the game. Like, don't give a guy who's, he had busted you for like 30-yard, 40-yard touchdowns, like 2 of the previous 3 drives. Yeah. Your defense was looking really bad. Like, loved that. And I don't know, maybe I'm starting to lean towards Dan Campbell might actually be aggressive in a smart way.
Sure.
Instead of just random. We wondered if it was just random because it felt random at certain times. But God, what a perfect call. And there's like 25 coaches that would never even think about doing that.
Yeah. The Lions were 8.3 yards per play today, which is like God mode good. And yet it was still very close. This was a very close game. That's how bad their defense was. The Lions went 4 of 5 on 4th down today, Andy. The Chargers went 3 of 3. If the Lions go 3 of 4 instead of 4 of 5, they probably lose this game, or very realistically could have lost this game. There was no stopping Keenan Allen. He was masterful today. The Lions defense got 0 sacks, I believe. I was waiting for them. I guess I'm still waiting for them to get a sack, but the Chargers also got 0 sacks. The Chargers defense was pathetic. It remains pathetic. Brandon Staley being a defensive coach is still hilarious to me.
Still weird.
Yeah. And this was big time because now the Chargers really are in the deep hole of trying to get back into the mix for a wild card spot. They're basically have no chance of running down the Chiefs for the West. Congratulations. I think the Chiefs pretty much won the West today. And I think I think Chargers are that, they showed more life on offense than I expected, but I feel like that was more on the Linos than it was on the Chargers. What do you think?
Let's say,
Herbert was good.
Zeppelin. You ever listen to that Zeppelin album, the live one?
How the West was won? One? Oh yeah.
It's called How the West Was Won. It's like a 3-disc, but it was, I think part of it was in Long Beach. That's where you live.
Cool.
Where did they play in Long Beach? The Lions defense is, I think, the Lions defense, that's like what's worrying me going forward, because like we said, they do have to play the Vikings twice. They're going to get Jefferson back. Like, you can lose coin flips like this. And like, it was great they made the right call at the end. But during the game, like, the game plan was perfect too. Like, obviously St. Brown had a big day, but they ran the ball a lot. And usually we're bitching about a team running the ball a lot, but like, this is a team you can run the ball effectively against if you have the right players and use it at the right time. And I thought they did a really nice job of like play calling, play sequencing, and then everything just worked as well. But that's why it's like, hey, guess what? You're not going to see us running on 4th and 5. You're not going to see it coming. You're not going to stack the box. And we have the guys to do it. Fuck it. Why not? So loved everything Dan did today.
Huh. Yeah, Man Campbell was amazing. How the West Was Won apparently was performed at the Long Beach Arena, which is now the Long Beach Convention and Entertainment Center. I didn't even know they had concerts there. The Long Beach Arena was famously home to what were they, the Ice Dogs? I can't remember the name of the NHL second or third league team that played back in the day.
Oh, the Ice Dogs. Everyone knows.
It was the Long Beach Ice Dogs. It was the Long Beach Ice Dogs. Played at the Long Beach Arena. All right, man.
Where does that leave us? Set. We're in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the Dallas game. That wasn't a real football game.
Fucking what a mess that was, though, dude.
DeVito was. This is the best part. Is here's all I'm going to say is the Cowboys had a 4th and goal that came up with no points. They also turned the ball over inside their own 20, both in the first half. They won the first half 28-0. That's the level of what you got out of the. It's DeVito's not an NFL starter.
Yeah,
you don't have some of the other players you want of it. Jesus,
this was like an SEC team putting Charleston.
Hey, guess what? We're playing. Yeah, we're playing the Citadel, Bama minus 59.5.
Exactly.
This is like the only win I got in the afternoon. I bet,
good work by you, man.
Minus 10 first half.
I bet a little on the other side of 17, but I'm mad that this wasn't just like an auto, like a more aggressive.
I had
fire.
no idea what to do with this game in the second half.
I'm mad at myself.
There was a lot of points in the second half. It's crazy too that basically it was all garbage time the whole second half.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys still tripled them on yardage. It was like 620 to 173, I think, was the final yardage. Tripling someone in yardage is a really, really big beatdown. You don't want that in your life. Guys.
No. I really appreciated that the Cowboys let up 17 garbage points here because I have some Jets fewest points scored tickets that I would like to have a chance, and what I need is the Giants to score some points because they are so far behind in last as far as points scored, and they have a game on everybody because they haven't gotten to their bye yet.
This is a takeaway too. Dak stayed in for so long, and we didn't mention this in the Niners game, but it's fun and all to try to get Christian McCaffrey the record. But motherfucker, don't you it's one thing if you're Andy Reid or Bill Belichick, you have multiple rings. Hey, you don't have your ring, Kyle. Don't you want to win a ring? You can't get Christian McCaffrey hurt in a game you're up by 30. Yeah. It's fun and all, but you tell them hey, we're a team. We're in this for the long haul. I don't give a fuck about your touchdown record. It felt so silly.
Yeah. That said, I wouldn't have minded more points in that game. Anyway. Yeah. All right, man. Is that it? Are we finally? Oh, no. We got to talk about the worst fucking one of all. The Seahawks blowing this cover, man. Oh, my God. That touchdown to De'Ami Brown. Sam Howell has a pulse. Don't get me wrong. Part of the issue with fading the Commanders in the road is that Howell has a pulse. He's good. He's good quarterback. By 2023 standards, Howell is a good quarterback, which is more of a commentary on how far things have fallen than it is really on his quality of play, I guess. But he's good. And the Seahawks took their foot off the gas so many times when they were in makeable field goal range. It just got real conservative. And the defense, my God, on that final drive where they conceded that touchdown was so aggressively poor. And you see the snap, 3rd and 10, Howell's back, no pressure, not even a lick of pressure, nothing happening. And then he finds De'Ami Brown. And you're like, man, so they're going to get some shots at the end zone here. No, these scampers all the way for a touchdown on a broken play. And it was like, okay, well, I'm sure the Seahawks are going to find a way to win and not cover in this, in this spot. And sure enough, they do. Geno Smith, I guess, congratulations on.
It was a nice. The game-winning drive was nice. He had some nice throws.
Yeah, good job getting him in position to win, but God, giving up that touchdown just made me want to scream. And the fact that it came at the tail end of a day where I got my ass handed to me was just miserable. So
it was weird too. If you look at in box score wise, I still haven't dug in and figured out because I didn't watch a lot of this one, so I'm not sure if we had some good field position on punt returns or what happened. But Seattle had a pretty big yardage advantage. And they won the turnover battle 1-0. So I don't understand how this was super close and they still needed a game-winning drive field goal to win this one. So this is one I definitely want to watch back tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders refuse to just, go ahead and win this game. They want to fiddle fuck around and really give the Jets
Just
a
win,
chance to
baby. I'm cheering for the Discord. No touchdowns. It's like after we get to the fourth quarter, we can't talk about it. It's like a perfect game at that point.
9-12 works for me.
We're gonna go to overtime and still not get a touchdown, guys. That's how confident I am.
Jeez.
Yeah, the Seattle not covering felt very stupid.
No, very, 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 very stupid. Game flew over too, so awesome. You got any thoughts on the openers here?
So that was the thing. It felt like there should have been more points in the first half, and there weren't, and then it ended up going over in the long run. I think the over was probably the right side.
Yeah, I think so too. Monday Night Football, real quick. I played Denver. If you haven't already heard the handicap, it's pretty straightforward. The Bills are toasted defensively. They've lost more pieces. Realistically, you might see DeMar Hamlin active and play some snaps on defense because that's where they're down to. And I think realistically, there's good. The Bills are going to be fine offensively in this one probably, although they are going up against a healthy Broncos unit. I think this is going to be a pretty competitive game. And in general, I think anything outside of 7 was a bet on the Broncos, but it's inside of 7 now, so it's 7 flat, I guess now. So it's probably one I would skip. Any thoughts on the openers?
Yeah, that one too. It was like when it was 7.5, I looked at it. It's like, man, I don't want this to close. I don't want to tease this at all. Another injury to the secondary for the Bills, who's already had some struggles. Josh Allen has been inconsistent, and you're getting a kind of a bit of a come up from the Denver defense at this point. So, yeah, 7 seems like too many points. I might join you on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got 7.5, right? And you took some money line like an animal.
Correct. That's correct.
Goddamn savage.
Honestly, if you want a real tip, the way my week has gone, find some Bills alts. Have at it.
Bills minus 30.
Bills minus 13. It's good. It's good. The entire narrative of today, like our friend Dr. Eric Eager, I can't remember on which podcast he said this, but somebody at one point brought up the Patriots. I think the safety. Remember the safety in the end zone against the Raiders, where the cover probability for the Patriots there was 95, 99%. There was a lot of can't feed your family with implied cover probability today for me. The whole day was just a implied cover probability gone sideways. So not great. You got to read.
It went from sushi to eating your goldfish.
Oh my God, I don't want to eat my goldfish either. Oh, sucks.
You don't want to do
it's
that.
Gonna be tough,
I'll never. I wasn't in on that. I just knew so many people. I knew so many people that had the Patriots that week, though. Just gross. I'll never forget that safety. You never forget the bad beats. Like you mentioned, Thursday, it feels like Bengals +4 is a little too much. It should probably be 3. Texans, Cardinals.
That's a big old number. Wow. Texans. Yeah. I guess we're just saying the Texans are a top 10 team now. Is that really where we're at?
Defense has a long way to go yet. Total's high. Like, I'm not interested in betting overs in the NFL right now when they're in the high 40s. But if I did, I'd think about this one because I wasn't super impressed with either defense. Yeah, that feels like a bit much.
Shit, that's a big number.
Cardinals, get Connor, had Wilson back. You get your pieces. Targeted the young tight end a few times. Like there was a semblance of offense there. Traveling, but still, that feels like a bit high. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Cardinals money. It's like, hey, can we finally sell high in the Texans?
Raiders recover a fumble, for the love of God. There's been a couple of pick sixes they've dropped in this game already, and now we're not even getting fumbles in the red zone, guys. Come on. I really would really love a bailout here with the Raiders win. That would be do enormous things for my my mental well-being.
Drew, I played money line. I'd take a tie. I would take them. Just give me my money back. Give me my stake back.
Just get me the fuck out of this. Get me out of this
right now. So the win probability according to like the ESPN scorebug, is Raiders 55, which probably it's close to a coin flip right now. I would take my money back.
Raiders defense is playing a lot better, at least. That's
They
good.
they have the tackling's been a lot better in the second half.
Yeah, it's been much better.
What else is there? What else is there? Chargers, Packers. Chargers 3-point favorites on the road.
Wow. Really?
I mean, the Packers aren't good, though. That was a defense that got diced up, though. That total's 44.
Some of these numbers are really tough to square, man.
You're telling me the Chargers are a full ass, like 5 points better right now? 4.5. It's a tough place to play. Indoor team. It's not warm up here by any means. Indoor team going up there, laying 3 points on the road. Boy, have me betting all the dogs this week.
What do you think?
Giants getting 10 in Washington.
Sam Howell is now a double-digit favorite. Second time this year he's been favored outside of a touchdown. Is that right? I think he was against the Cardinals week 1, or did that close 6? I forget. Sam Howell's just he's that good. He's
after what you saw today, even with the they did some things in garbage time. We haven't been super impressed with the secondary. They traded away their good pass rushers. It's not a good defense. I don't know if 10 points is enough for that offense. Like, the Commanders can score.
We got three 10-point. Oh, sorry, we got 4 10-point favorites this week, Andy. The Niners, the Cowboys, the Lions, and Washington. And Washington. And Washington.
The Commandos.
Wow.
Jesus.
The Commandos are 10-point favorites. I mean, Tommy DeVito is hot garbage.
I'm going to bet this, but I think we'll see Giants money come in. People
why? Why would anyone bet the Giants?
It's a divisional game. They saw a little something in the second half. This isn't the Cowboys pass rush. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if you found some 9.5s. Like, if you want to bet it, I think.
Wait,
it's 9.5.
The Dolphins are 10-point favorites too. There's 5 double-digit favorites this week.
Oh, who's doing a sweetheart teaser? And has 2 thumbs. This guy.
Miami, Detroit, Washington, San Francisco, and Dallas. Who blows it? I'm gonna have to tease it just for fun.
All right, so DeVito, it feels hard for DeVito to do that. Baker finally pacing a good pass rush. He's not good. It's on the road versus a good pass rush, not him. Oh man, Panthers are at home, I guess, but man, that's an ask. That's a big old ask. It's got to be Miami, right? Like, yeah. And even that is just like, because you're making me pick someone. Jags, Tennessee. What do you think of that one? 6.5 Jags Dome.
I mean, as poor as Will Levis looked on the road today, I don't think you're expecting him in his 3rd straight road game all of a sudden to figure it out, would you?
It's a tough ask. It's a tough ask to ask me to lay that many points with the Jags, but Jags can be worser teams.
I probably will play the over 40 instead of just laying it with the Jags and cry as it's somehow 35-3. Yeah. Like that's kind of how it feels like it's going to go.
Yeah, the old dude from
chose poorly from Last Crusade. Last
Crusade. I couldn't think of which one. He chose poorly. Yeah. All right. Well, it's kind of like the Niners thing today. That had pissed me off too.
Give me your thoughts on Philly, Casey, since that one's neutral. 2 teams coming off of buys here. You got Kansas City at -120, -2.5. I'm surprised this isn't just a 3. I'll be honest with you. I think this is pretty clearly strength of the Kansas City defense against the strength of the Philly offense right now. I don't know. Where are you in that one?
It's priced about right? Philly's very good, but KC, I'm giving them a little extra home field bump off the bye because that's priced into the market anyway because it's Andy Reid with rest, extra rest. 2 really good coaches going at it, but we've seen some people put some defensive schemes that have given Hurts some issues. Obviously, the Jets were able to do it. If they can replicate some of the things where it said, like, guess what? Like, we're gonna hang back here. We're gonna make you do things. We're gonna make you try to run against our front.
God, Raiders so lucky that ball didn't get picked up.
Yeah, I don't have an interest in probably betting either side. That number's pretty good. I'm excited to watch it. Like, the Thursday and Monday night games are bangers, right? Even Sunday night, like.
Yeah, sure. You want to see Russell Wilson in prime time 2 weeks in a row?
Honestly, I'm fine with it. He's entertaining.
It's the Kelsey versus Kelsey game.
Yeah, Kelsey Bowl.
The Kelsey Bowl.
Even Seahawks Rams. I'm excited for that one.
All right,
especially if Stafford's back. You want to lay points with the Seahawks on the road in division?
No,
right now.
You want to know what my least favorite game of the entire season was? Is in the conversation. One of my least favorite games of the entire season was week 1. Yeah, Rams beating the Seahawks was absolute misery. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor will be there. She's going to be in the midst of the tour for a while now.
Yeah. Does anyone have a? I'm sure somebody knows what where she's playing next.
I mean, it's like a straight up world tour, so she's all over. Like Kelsey was in Argentina to like see her during the bye. Just in love. I remember it was like when you first started that honeymoon phase. Good for them. Cowboys first half again. Cowboys are a good first half team. Even with
Cowboys are front running bullies, baby.
Yeah,
if you
suck, lay points with the Cowboys against shit teams.
If you suck, the Cowboys will skull fuck you. No. That's I was gonna go for a more PG, like the Cowboys will stick their finger in your eye, but I might as well just bust
it's the same thing.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of takes on the other ones. Like, honestly, like if you gave me $100 to bet the Cowboys game, I'd lay 10.5. They are a front running team that can beat the shit out of bad teams, even on the road.
She's in Brazil. Taylor's in Rio and Sao Paulo.
Her name is Rio.
It's the spring down there. Or no, I guess the summer's already started, right? No. Yeah, summer. The spring. It's the spring?
Yeah.
It's the spring.
The solstice.
From the equinox to the solstice is spring. And
Dan's betting the bye week -3 versus Art Smith. Probably smart. I get it. Because he's bad. It is spring in Rio. All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. If you have any hot takes, obviously, find us on the Twitter. Leave it in the chat. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. I hope you had a better Sunday than us.
They keep showing this giant ball thing in Las Vegas. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's the AT&T ad. What am I? What are they doing?
Sphere?
Here? Sure.
Oh, there's some bad commercials.
Yeah, the Sphere. I heard the Sphere lost $100 million. Why are we're giving them free ad rev to help pump them up?
It's a part of the night sight line now. It's a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't love running Josh Jacobs into the line on 2nd and 5 there. Would have liked something.
Field goal drive, guys.
Yes. We're gonna hang with the deep dive Discord just to see how this drive ends, but we're not saying it anymore.
Yeah, it's fourth quarter. We can't talk about it. It's like 15 batters up, 15 batters down. It's not something to talk about. And of course.
Well,
I mean, good for us.
Oh shit. I got jury duty tomorrow. I almost forgot to freaking call in. If you don't call in on one day when you have jury duty, they reset it.
Yeah.
You got to come try
again. Fun with that.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have to report tomorrow. I really don't have
Never had it. Almost 40. Never been called. Knock on wood. See you guys tomorrow night.
All right.
If there's ever
been believe Raiders, not full of it. Although Zach Wilson in comeback mode, this could be entertaining after all.
Zach Wilson picked 6 minus 500.